back off, back off, back off, back. Oop. Right to right, a little bit right. There. And that's saturation now. So we're at 843. Instead of 810, where we were yesterday, now we're at 843. Every filament's a little different.
How can you tell it's saturate because
Give me the notebook. Notebook. Good. Success. I drew this curve for you guys yesterday. Right? Oh, yeah. And so here's the curve. Here's a graph. And we're going to call this side brightness. And this side is voltage. Right? And so this slider, this is my filament slider. So this is filament. Slider. Okay? So if I move this slider down, right? You notice that I have no beam now, right? I don't see anything, right? It's dark, right? So as far as brightness goes, we're dark, right? We got nothing. As soon as I start bringing this up, as soon as I start adding voltage, I'm adding voltage now is what I'm doing. I'm adding voltage, Oh, wait a second. I got a little bit of brightness. I got a little bit of brightness so I can see something, right? So I have a little bit of brightness. Let me lower the magnification so I can see. Right? I'm going to turn my contrast up a little bit. So I can see. So as I'm moving up this scale, all of a sudden it's starting to do this. It's starting to give me some brightness, right? Makes sense? So I'm going to keep going. If I'm adding voltage, and this keeps getting brighter, well, I keep going. I keep moving. I keep going right in that direction. So I'm going to keep moving this guy. So I'm going to go to the right. Keep going to the right. Keep going to the right. Keep going. Wow, it's getting really bright. I keep going to the right. Screw it. I'm moving. Wow, it's getting really bright. Okay, right there. It came up. It came up. It came up like this. So that's where I am right now. It's getting bright. And as I increase voltage here at number 710, as I increase this voltage, see that go down?
go down? Yeah.
So there's my false peak. So on new filaments, you will see a false peak.
Okay.
Now I've got customers that leave the saturation on the false peak. And they're like, well, Jimmy, my filament lasted 300 hours on the false peak. And I'm like, well, good for you. Your resolution is out the window, though, because you can't focus on anything over 5000x. So you can image, if you're going to do blow mag work, customers will run this on the false peak and the filament will last a very long time.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not fully saturated. But the performance of the tool will suffer. Just to throw it out there wherever it sticks.
That's good.
Okay?
Good
Just
information
letting
to
you
know.
Right? Because a lot of customers do that. Right. And so if I keep coming up now, right? So it got dark on me, and I keep coming up. Now it got really bright, right? Right. So now I'm going to keep on that curve as I'm bringing it up. It's getting brighter again, right? Okay, so now it did this. It's doing this business on me. It's coming back up now, right? And now as I keep going up, as I keep running this up, that's brighter, great. As I keep coming up, now there's no change.
Okay.
It's not doing anything. There's no change.
Okay.
Right? So when there's no change,
It's
that means it did this.
Saturate already.
Right?
Okay.
So if there's no change, now let's say I'm over here and I'm running 20 volts through this thing. Well, I got no brightness change. So why am I running 20 volts when realistically I only need to run 15 volts?
Right.
Right? Well, at 20 volts, that filament could last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, at a saturation point where it's ideal, maximum brightness with correct voltage, I'm going to get the specified hours of the filament, 40 to 80 hours. That's the spec for a tungsten filament. It's just industry standard.
Okay.
It's just the way it is. So I'm looking at this, and it doesn't matter if I'm using focus window or whatever. I'm just looking at brightness. So I'm just going to use this mouse now. I'm going to back off. I want to try and find that saturation. So I know I'm not saturated there. I'm going to come up. I'm going to come up. I'm going to come up. I'm going to come. It's brighter. No change. No change. No change. I'm going to back off. Dark. Whoop.
Right
back
there.
up again. So right around there.
There.
And so we're going to call that saturated. I'm around number 830.
Okay. I see.
So that's saturation for this filament. Every filament, your other one was 810. So it's going to vary a little bit. It's not that much.
Okay.
And we could do this FaceTiming on the phone, me with you guys. I do this all the time with customers. I'm like, back it off. He's moving this up. No, go forward. No, stop there, because it got dark. Then I'll be like, get on your gun alignment and start adjusting your gun alignment. And then we'll start adjusting the gun alignment. I'm like, okay, stop there. So it's easy for me to do this on the phone with you guys as well, just throwing it out there.
Okay. So now you're doing the gun alignment is the another step that after you do the.
Yeah, I closed the spot size
Mm-hmm.
because the gun alignment should really be done at a small spot size. Because at spot size 15,
Mm-hmm.
the gun alignment is great because the beam is super wide. It's super
Mm-hmm.
wide. So let's say my gun alignment at spot size 15.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I still have beam here, right? I have beam there, I have beam there. Okay, I got beam there, right? And if I move this all the way over, okay, I still have beam here. Oh, I got beam to right about there, let's say, okay? So that's great. That looks good, right? Because my beam is super wide. Now, if I take my beam and make it smaller, so if I took my spot size 15, I drop that down to spot size, let's say 3, I got no image.
Okay.
Because I took a gigantic beam and I made it really small. So we adjust our gun alignments and our physical alignments at the smallest spot size to make sure we're aligned. If the beam is very small and I'm aligned, when I open it, it doesn't matter. It's great. So I'm going to grab my gun alignment again and I'm just going to shook this around until I get my beam back. And it wasn't that slider. It's probably this slider that's causing me the most grief. There it is. So it's this slider. And this would literally take me 5 minutes with you on the phone to get this set up. Because I want it to be aligned at a smaller diameter.
So a line of smallest diameter, and the smallest diameter is the smallest
Spot
current.
size. Yeah, spot. You know, one would be the smallest, right?
One,
3 is close enough, right? So, but even if I go to 1, we're still fine right now, right?
Okay.
It's still okay. So you know, anything below spot size 5, right? 15 is gross. It's huge. The beam is wide open at 15. So it's not a great thing to align the beam at spot size 15. It's okay to saturate it at spot size 15 because the saturation, this does not change, irrelevant of condenser lens size. Doesn't
Okay.
matter. This
Okay.
is voltage to filament. This does not change.
Okay.
All right, that's irrelevant. So now that we've done that, well, it's fixed. It stays there. We don't care until we blow this filament. So that's done.
So
We're done. You don't need to change that slider anymore. It's done. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more step. I'm going to go a little bit further. And sometimes you could do this. Sometimes you don't have to. So I'm going to physically check my alignments. So I'm going to physically check. I'm going to grab these 2 keys, these Allen keys here, that we have. I'm going to stick one on one side. I'm going to stick one on the other side. Right? Because we want to move this way, right? And then we're going to move this way.
Okay.
You follow? So these go right across from each other. It's the same thing that the gun alignment does. The gun alignments do the same thing. There's coils. There's 2 coils across. And the coils electromagnetically move the beam, right? That's happening electromagnetically. Well, this is physical. I can move it physically and I can move it electromagnetically.
Why do you want to do that once you
wanna check
already
it.
done it?
I did electromagnetic. I just want to check physical too.
Oh, okay.
Why not?
Okay.
It doesn't hurt me to check it. Right? I'm just looking for maximum brightness still. So if I was to grab this one, unscrew and tighten this one, that's what I'm doing right now. Right? Am I buying anything? No. Let's do the other one. Right? Did I buy anything? No. Oh, actually got a little darker right now, right? So I don't want it a little bit darker. I'm going to go back to where it was, right around there. So I just did this one because the electromagnetic works really, really good. So I just kind of moved it over a little bit. I'm just going to get out of that. I'm going to grab these 2 sides. And again, this is not something that you have to do because, you know, our beam alignment sliders work really, really well. But, you know, I'm like an SEM guy, and so I like checking everything. And so I'm going to loosen that. I'm going to tighten this guy up a little bit. I mean, no difference. And it's not much that I'm doing. I'm just kind of like doing a very quick. Oh, it got dark. See, I got dark there a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring that back up again. We'll bring it to life again. There's my brightness. So I got it back, kind of back to where it was.
I noticed that when you turn those, both of them in the same direction. Why is that?
I'm turning one and I'm loosening the other. Right, so,
okay.
So I got to loosen one to move it because
Yeah,
they're bolts. They're like this.
Yeah.
So if I don't loosen one,
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't move.
yeah, it's not gonna move. So I got to work on 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's just the way that is. Yep. All right, so now I did that, and now I could go back in here, and if I wanted to focus on something, I could focus back up again, because now I know that I put a new filament in, and I know that it's aligned. So now I can come back in through here and kind of like find this sample a little bit. Rip up, let's do a quick little slow scan just to see, hey, are we kind of close to being focused? And it looks like I am pretty close. No, I'm a little bit out, a little bit out. Well, that's okay. All right, so now backtracking, if I want to stop the gun, are you sure you want to turn off the electron gun?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
That's
no,
good.
I don't want to turn off the electron gun.
Could you go over that? What is that?
Could you go over that? What is that?
Could you go over that? Could you go over that? What is 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 that? Could you go over that? That gun alignment again a little bit.
Mechanical alignment.
No, the
Or
on the software.
Yeah, that's mechanical.
This is not mechanical, it's electromagnetic. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not mechanical. Mechanical's up on top.
Yes.
So yeah, could you go over that concept again? I didn't quite understand it. So first, you when you do that, you need to be at a small current, right?
It's best to do it at a small probe current. It's
Yeah.
best to do it at a small probe current.
Okay.
And so I'm just grabbing one of them. That's
Okay.
a slider now. It just became a slider, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm just going to move the slider. I'm just going to move it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's getting dark, right?
Yeah.
So that's not good.
And doesn't matter.
I'm moving the beam right now this
Mhm.
way.
I
And
see.
it's coming off center.
I see.
So
Mhm.
it's physically moving by changing a magnetic field inside that assembly.
Mhm.
And it's grabbing the beam and it's physically moving it
Mhm.
electromagnetically
Mhm.
over. And that's not good. So I keep going, right? And now I lost the beam. I got no beam.
Yeah.
Right?
Should be at a low Mach doing this.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Completely
Okay.
irrelevant. We're
Okay.
looking at brightness.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just want to be able to see something. So I'm going to bring it back across again. And
Mhm.
okay, I see something again. Great, 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 great. Even brighter. That's even better. Even better. Whoop.
Yeah.
Not again.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to bring that back over again. Back over again. Back over. Oh, okay. Dark, bright, dark.
So,
And I'm going to bring it right to its brightest point. And it's right
brightest.
about there.
okay.
And I'm going to come off of this guy, right? Because we have an X and we also have a Y. Got
Okay.
a line of Y. We have coils on both sides.
Yeah,
So we have an
yeah.
X and a Y. So now I'm on Y. So I'm going to
Uh-huh.
grab Y and do the same thing.
Mhm.
I'm just going to run it. Run it all the way to one side. Oh, that's bad. I know
Mhm.
I'm gone already.
Mhm.
I'm going to bring it back the other way. That's good, 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 good. And that's bad. So
Mhm.
it's just kind of somewhere right in there.
Mm.
I'm going to hit my left mouse button down. And that's it. I'm done with them.
Mhm.
And you won't have to move those realistically until you put a new filament in.
Mm.
Or if you move them, you have to move them back,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that's something that I check,
Mhm.
you know, and just to make sure that you know we're aligned. So with a new filament, you have to do it. There's no question about it. It's got to
Mhm.
be done.
Okay.
When the filament was in already, we really didn't worry about it too much. This is charging over here. I don't know what we're looking at, but it's definitely charging on us.
So what about charging? What does that mean?
It's just moving around.
Okay.
Sorry, partial field. I'll show you what charging is in a second. So you could see a haze developing around this. Let me focus on this again. So you see how it's kind of like we have this bright area here and dark over here,
Yeah.
and bright and it's glowing. And if I come up on it a little bit, for instance, if I come up on it some more, let me just shift over here a little bit, shift over here a little bit. Great. And if I go to try to focus on this, for instance, you see that it's moving on its own. It's kind of like
Yeah, yeah.
these hookers. That's
Yeah.
what these flashes are called. They're called hookers. Anyway, and so if I try to focus on it, you know, it's kind of moving around on me a little bit.
Uh-huh.
It's because this area of the sample,
Mhm.
whatever area that I'm currently on, is not coded, and it's
Uh-huh.
acting violent with the beam. And that's
Uh-huh.
why we have a bright spot and a dark spot.
Uh-huh.
So this sample's not coded, right? That we're looking at, Dan?
This one, yeah, maybe no coating.
Yeah.
There's no
I don't
coding.
think it was.
There's no coding in there at all. And that's why we're getting this dark haze too right now, because
Mhm.
we're getting some charging on this sample. So
So
if I
no,
was to go to a different area, let's say,
so in other words,
let's come off of your sample. Right?
yeah,
So-
maybe you go to the leads or something.
Oh, okay, I could do this.
So that way you already ground. But based on this, you want to do your gun alignment on a
Gun alignment
co-
doesn't matter as far as sample goes. It's really irrelevant. You can do it on the stage.
Oh.
Again, we're just looking for brightness with the gun alignment. I don't care about focus or anything. I just want to make sure the beam is coming down the center of the
I
column.
see.
I don't care about the sample. I don't care
Oh.
about any of that. I'm just looking for